Turkey, Europe, and the Bin-Ladenists. November 22nd, 2002. Being a part of Europe is in Turkey's economic interest. It is also in the interest of the Islamic world to have a Muslim nation like Turkey as its Trojan horse in the European Union. However, Europe's interest is to have Turkey as a member of NATO, serving as a military colony and a base for the organization. It is not in Europe's interest that Turkey joins the European Union. Turkey is a tree whose roots are in Asia and its branches barely brush Europe. By customs, traditions, history, culture, and conduct and inclination, Turkey is an Eastern Sunni Muslim country. Even the Latin alphabet it has adopted is not really Latin. It is actually corrupted Latin orthography. Turkey is the cradle of the great Hittite Eastern Empire. It is the center of the far-flung Ottoman Empire and the seat of the Islamic Caliphate. Historically, Turkey has always viewed Europe as an arena for expansion and conquest. For 55 years, Turkey strove to become European. For realistic reasons, they are far stronger than wishful thinking. It has failed in that endeavor. Turkey's accession to the EU is akin to the attempt to transplant an organ from a donor to a recipient who does not have the same blood type and with no biological link between them. Their only relationship is that they live across the street from each other. Europe, particularly Germany, may benefit from the cheap Turkish migrant labor. However, if that labor comes from a state member of the EU, it will have certain rights that Europe does not wish to grant them. What would Europe gain from being joined by a backward Eastern country? The per capita income in Turkey is less than $7,000 per annum. The lowest per capita income in Europe is $19,000 in Spain. In Germany, it has reached $26,000. The infant mortality rate in Turkey is 45 per thousand, while it is 4 per thousand in the European countries. Turkey's inflation rate is 70% as compared to 2 or 3% in Europe. These material differences could be overcome with time. The risk that Europe cannot condone nor take is to have Turkey as its Trojan horse. The problem does not lie with the older generation of Turkish politicians who continue to hold Ataturk and his teachings sacred. The problem is with the new generation. The youth who have access to the satellite channels and the internet are learning lessons from the scholars of the Islamic world and from Bin Laden personally every minute of the day. That influence cannot be prevented. What if thousands of young Turks get their worldview from the Bin Laden and his followers or from Mullah Ammar and his group? I say, if, just to soften the blow, they consider Europe as a land of unbelief that deserves nothing but forceful conquest, they will not stop at the gates of Vienna like the Ottomans did. They will wish to cross the Atlantic. They will follow the example of the Uqba ibn Nafi, the Arab commander who stopped at the Atlantic coast and addressed the ocean, saying, "If I know that there are people living on your other coast, I will cross you to conquer them and force them to adhere to Islam." Uqba did not know of the existence of a continent called America between the ocean. Those young people know very well what exists beyond the Atlantic. Those young people oppose the abolition of capital punishment because it is mentioned in the Quran. Moreover, they maintain that a thief's hand must be amputated as ordained by God. Adulterers must receive 100 lashes without mercy. To them, these are the punishments established by God in his book. They do not and will not accept the ban on parties with an Islamic name in Turkey, while those with Christian names are not banned in the rest of Europe. The new Islamic extremists who will come to power in Turkey and will control its streets will not accept joining an entity whose constitution does not mention the Islamic Sharia or the divinely ordained punishments. Believing that contraception and family planning are sinful, they will ban them completely. Thus, they could very well have the majority in the European Parliament. With polygamy, Turkey could become more populous than any European country. The Turkish Islamists, supported by al-Qaeda, plan to establish Islamic states in Albania and Bosnia. Europe, the land of unbelief, will thus face the pressure of a new Muslim European front that enjoys the backing of the whole Muslim world. Europe will have to adhere to Islam or pay the tribute. Islamists consider this to be their duty because they see it written in the Quran. These ideas might seem ridiculous or laughable to some. However, to Islamists, it is their God-given mission. The future in Turkey is for the Islamist parties and the supporters of Bin Laden. The number of the people who join Islamist parties, particularly the newly established ones in Turkey, is profoundly surprising. In a few years, one of those parties was joined by several million people, including 1 million women. Bin Laden and the mullahs will be the happy winners if Turkey joins the EU. In addition, Turkey will bring into the EU its burdensome baggage of explosive programs such as the Kurdish problem, sectarian conflict, the possibility of war over the waters of the Tigris and the Euphrates, its membership in the Organization of the Islamic Conference and the Islamic G8, as well as Turkey's affiliation and deep roots ties with the Muslim countries of Central Asia. The Seljuks and the Turks after them are people of conquest. They conquered Anatolia. They conquered Constantinople, and their armies of conquest made it all the way to Austria. I could have chosen not to sound this alarm bell. I could have decided not to uncover this frightful scenario. However, my responsibilities for the world's stability in general and for the peace and security of the Mediterranean in particular make it my duty to speak out. The southern shores of the Mediterranean are Arab. Libya's coastline extends for 2,000 kilometers. Whatever happens in the Mediterranean basin has implications for my country. I had to speak clearly to the world about this strategically important issue. Its reverberations will touch my country, our region, and will shake the world. It was my duty to speak out before it is too late and before such a grave decision is made.